Hello there folks! Today we're taking a look at motion pictures movies out of cardboard. The designer is Alexandros Kapidakis and publisher is Drawlab Entertainment.
In this game we all start as a small movie studio with just a handful of employees, and we compete with each other and try to grow bigger and become well known in the film industry.
And action! So motion pictures is played over the course of 4 eras, and each era consists of different projects, and there's a certain amount of projects for each era. As you can see, this is not a full setup. I can show you the full setup in the book here for 4, 3 or 2 players. It's a little bigger, but for the video I'll just show you how the mechanics work. Now, you have a hand of cards. Everyone has the same hand of cards at the beginning. You have your filmmakers. They don't have any special bits, they just have icons on top and the color itself. Now, on your turn, you're gonna do one of the actions. First of all, you can play a card at one of the projects on your side. I mean, like, you can, for example, play at this project right here, and every project has some kind of requirement. Sometimes requirement is like, you need a certain icon. You need this icon in order to complete the project. So if I'll put this card right here, yeah, I'm gonna complete this project right away. The first projects are rather easy to do. Some of the projects are like, so from this is awards. It needs exactly this icon, this icon right here. For example, TV series are the projects which just need 3 of any icons except the stars. I mean, like here it's except the stars and these other things, so except these 2 symbols, but you need to get 3 symbols in total. So, and these are basically different requirements. And there are some other projects, like, for example, as you can see, the different films and such, like this project. These are commercials. They need a color instead of the icon, so you need a blue card. Now, on your turn, one of the things you do, you just play a card, and then either you complete or not the project, and you can go further, then the other player will start his turn. Now, the other thing you can do on your turn, you can hire by discarding a card from your hand with the same color that you want to get from here. For example, in order to get this blue advanced filmmaker, and these are all advanced filmmakers, I need to discard a blue card from my hand. I'm going to discard it into my discard pile, and then I'm going to grab this one from here. I'm going to grab it into my hand. So the difference with this deck builder is that you don't put both cards into discard, but you're going to put them into your hand. And then you reveal a new card. That's the second thing you can do. The third thing you can do, you can recruit. In the first era, you don't really have any kind of, like, basically these are your, so let's say these were the 6 cards. You have all 6 cards in your hand. You don't have a deck to draw from. You will have a discard pile as the game goes by, and as you buy more cards from the center, in other eras you will have the deck as well, so you can discard any card and just draw a new card, so which will mitigate the luck factor. And you do all that, you hire advanced filmmakers. Some of them have special abilities, like, for example, this says this is storyboard artist. Look at the top 3 filmmakers of your draw pile. Choose 1 to fire, 1 to discard, and 1 to add to your hands. Some, like the other, like, for example, if here, for example, this one says, you may immediately play in this project a filmmaker with the star specialty from discard pile. For example, if I have, like, let's say these are not really good, but let's say, whatever. I mean, like, if I play this guy somewhere on a project, I can immediately use this ability, and maybe I had a star. Star means the star specialty means the color. I have the yellow color in my discard pile. I can play it right away into this same project. So there are some really cool abilities that you can use. Not all of them are cool for everything, but I mean, you have them. You have them, and then you can use them in a certain amount of, at a certain time. Now, the second era gets a little bit harder. You have more of these projects, your thriller movies and such, and then they'll get a little bit harder. As you can see, these are awards which needs exactly these icons and nothing else. So it's really hard to get them. And then we get till the 4th project, and then you can see you need to get more and more icons, and they get really really expensive, but you get more points. And the points are on top corner here. Now, how you can score points the other way? There's always a trilogy in the center. There you put cards face down. You basically like you play the card, but you play the card face down. And for every 2 skills, for every 2 icons, you get 1 point. But certain icons count double, and whoever puts the most skills in the trilogy, which basically the trilogy scores at the end of the 4th era. So I mean, like for 4 eras, you will just put the cards inside here, and then you're gonna score some extra points. I think you also have some goals. For example, let's say these are the goals that you can do whenever they're done, you can claim them. The player with the most complete projects at the end of the 2nd era, for example, or the first player to complete the drama movie, thriller movie, and TV series. Then you grab them, you get some extra points, and there are some big goals which will be awarded at the end of the game. For example, the player who has the most camera skill among all of her filmmakers scores 6 points, and so on. So you have all the different ones. And that's basically it. You want to get the points from here, from these goals, from the projects themselves. Some projects have also the special abilities that trigger once you complete them. Some of them give you extra scoring at the end of the game. For example, here 4 points per action movie, thriller movie pair. Maximum of 12 points that you can get. So lots of cool things here. And the deck of cards for the advanced filmmaker is big. So you have a big variety of them. And just how the game is played. Here you go. As with all deck builders, I would say cards are most important. Here, cards are sturdy, but they have those black borders, which I usually hate. I would not recommend doing black borders anyway, so because they wear off. Yeah, but overall components are fine. The artwork is really cool. It brings out this popular TV series, movies, and awards and such. So I like that. I like that.
I really like actually that the cards have like recognizable movies.
Yeah.
All that classic, which is super cool. The game doesn't feel thematic, but everything is explained thematically.
Yes.
So it uses all that terminology for actions, and everything makes sense. So it is good, but it doesn't give you the feel.
Yeah.
Which is, well, it's not a problem for me because it's a card game. It's a deck builder. It's overly.
Yeah, deck builders are usually, I would say, they are abstract. Usually, yeah. Yeah. The good thing about this deck builder is that it has I would say, a big twist. You start with 6 cards, and basically this is your hand for the whole era. And what I like is that you use cards in order to exchange them for the new cards. You're not really buying, there's no currency, and you're not basically building up your deck that much. I would say, of course, you're building this up, but I don't know how to explain it. It's different. You are just adding few more cards for the next eras or something like that. So it has this big twist of sort of a deck building, but not really. And it's hard to explain.
I agree. The twist is so big, it's hard to explain, as you mentioned. But there is another big twist, is like nearly everybody who reads the rules or we explain the rules like doesn't understand. You seriously have to get through the whole era with just 6 cards?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, and you usually do that. And it's like the way you manage the cards, either you're gonna hire new ones or you put them in the trilogy, or just do some projects, and you usually end up the whole era with just 6 cards, which is amazing and completely different.
Yeah, and what you can do with these cards, you have different ways of basically, you want to complete projects to give you the most points, but you have different approaches to them. You have different projects. Some of them need certain icons, some of them need exactly those icons, stuff like that. Some of them don't want you to put certain icons. So there are different things and colors, and so you have different ways to complete projects, and this adds to replayability, this adds to the whole motion, I would say, in my opinion. And that also leads to the scoring. The scoring itself is different. Some cards give you extra scoring with their abilities and such would, like, for example, if it's the only thriller movie, gives you extra 3 points, something like that. Basically, cards give you the scoring itself when you complete this project. I mean, then you have these big goals and small goals as well. And then you have this trilogy, of course, when you get bonus points for putting the cards into the trilogy. So lots of ways of scoring, and I like that. I like how it.
There's already a lot
done.
of going on in the small box and the small deck builder, which is amazing. Although it doesn't become fiddly, which is really, I think it's hard to do, but appreciate that.
What bothers me a little bit in this game and about the projects themselves, really cool. You complete the project, you score it, and that's it. Yeah. But when you complete the project, you will put a new project out, and there is a luck factor. Some projects come out in the right moments, some are not. You know, maybe you complete the project and then you pick the new project, and it just suits your opponent so well that they will complete it right away and get just really easy scoring. You know, and that's why that bothers me. On the other hand, it balances out with your hand of cards, where you get the cards you buy, basically you acquire already into your hire. Yes, hire is a terminology here. The cards you hire, you get already into your hand, and that's what I like it. I mean, like the luck factor is lessened here. So, but the luck factor with what projects come out is a little bit bothersome. Might be for some players more than for me, at least.
So it seems that it bothers Ilya, because it absolutely doesn't bother me. You get that luck factor a lot in the game. So you're gonna play a lot of your opponents, and your opponents are gonna help a lot you. So it is part of the game. So it's not like one of a time.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay.
But there is one thing about the game. The cards have quite a lot of typos and small minor mistakes, or just overly confusing wording. I think there's still one card they always leave out because we never understand it. So
most of the advanced filmmakers have special abilities. Some special abilities are just so they are so confusing. You cannot really understand how to use them. We just basically take those cards out and put them back in the box, which is not good. All the cards should be used in the game that came there. And the other thing, maybe a negative for me, is that some cards are cooler than the other cards. I would just look at all these cards, pick the best ones, and just throw away the other ones. I think this game needs a little bit more playtesting in order to see what cards you should leave, what cards should go away from the game completely, because some cards feel so useless, in my opinion. But
let's say I might agree with the fact that there might be less of the filmmakers, but I don't like. It might need more playtesting, but not in the sense that it's unbalanced or anything like that.
No, it's not like unbalanced. Just some cards are just so useless, and some cards are really cool, and you basically only buy cool cards. I'd say. I've seen how quite a few cards are ignored from game to game because nobody cares about them.
Perhaps we just don't know how to use them, though.
Maybe.
In this game, the 4 rounds, 4 eras are really short.
Yeah.
Which is very good if you have more players. And we actually find it was a little bit bad when just play with 2, because it ends way too abruptly, and
like you're hurrying somewhere.
Yeah, you kind of feel that you would like to have like 1 or 2 more rounds, something like that.
Yes. Or have this extra rule of when somebody gets the last project on the table, there is one more turn or something like that.
Like something like that. Extra. It feels like it was cool in some sense to play with 2, but the fact that the rounds were too short with 2 wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Overall, the game is really short. It's played like 30-45 minutes. It's written on the box and it's quite accurate.
Yes.
And that's what I really like about the game.
So
there is a dilemma, right? So if you make longer rounds, it won't be as short game. So I understand the dilemma here. And overall, I like that the game is short because you get the feel and the game is over. So you can easily play it before or after bigger ones. And it really has an interesting vibe.
I would say it doesn't give you the feel of filler type game. It gives you the complete feel of the complete game.
Yeah, it's not a filler.
But the game when we play as a 2-player game, the time frame is like for the filler. So something in between.
I actually really like it.
Just a light game, just a light, shorter game. What I think of this game overall is that this game, although it has some negatives for me, it has these typos and black borders, which I hate. Okay, I like this game. I like the feeling of how you do the deck building stuff, sort of deck building stuff, I mean, and how you hire, and I like the theme itself and recognizable artwork from these popular movies and TV series. So overall, I'm satisfied with the game. Yes.
For me, I actually like the game much more than I expected. I like it a lot. I like by the twist of the game, and it is more complicated to play a deck builder with just one hand of cards than you would expect.
Yeah.
I like that the game puts me in a situation like out of my comfort zone, that I have to like act quickly. I don't have time to build up. So I really like, so it's like how many times we played, I feel that I didn't get it all yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to play more, and the short gameplay actually allows me to play it many more times. So yeah, I actually like it a lot.
So,
a lot.
Let's go to our dice ratings, yeah?
Shall we?
I give this game 7 dice out of 10.
I give this game 7.5 dice out of 10.